At the beginning of the film, we are shown the figure of a beautiful woman who has a proportional and ideal body, which makes me always excited to live life in this world. The desire to have is so high, but I have to be self-aware. Let's say her name is Putri. In the morning as usual, she does activities like women in general, jogging here and there, but she never comes to this empty heart. Okay, are you serious? On the other hand, the figure of a man, let's call him Bambang, started the morning sleepily walking, not knowing where he was going, none other than the neighbor's stall. It is known that Bambang has been harboring feelings if he really likes Putri. Then the scene shows Bambang working in a women's underwear industry, which includes Bambang himself as a designer. Then Putri as a designer and designer. Then Heru as a marketing agent, then the boss and two more I will introduce later. While on a whim, Bambang holds a mannequin statue which makes his hands hurt, because there is glue that is so attached to Bambang's hands. Not long after, another member named Rido, who is a photographer, and the last one named Hilda was the model for the underwear cast. Because the pain in his hand could not be contained, finally Bambang decided to leave for a while. While sitting around treating the pain in his hand, suddenly a strange sound came from a thicket of small bamboos. Then Bambang immediately approached him and saw what the vibrating object was. It turns out that the object is in the form of a box containing a bracelet, with a description of the magic bracelet that will help manifest your love, with a note that excessive use can cause side effects. Because it has a good design, Bambang didn't have the heart to throw it away, so he immediately put it on and felt a little warm touch that made him excited. On the other hand, Putri is shown helping Hilda to put on her underwear for a photo shoot. It seems that the boss likes the design of Putri's underwear. In the afternoon, when Hilda was about to go home, she was suddenly interrupted by two strong pretentious thugs. Knowing this, Bambang immediately tried to save him, even though he knew he was a weak man. And miraculously, when the thugs attacked Bambang suddenly, the bracelet helped Bambang finish the thugs. Immediately Hilda was immediately amazed by Bambang and gave a touch of the lips that made me want to feel it too. On the other hand, in show, boss is talking to investors that if they don't have a more innovative product than before, then the investors will switch to another underwear designing industry. Then the boss ordered Putri and Heru to work even harder to save their industry. On the other hand, we are shown that the effect of using bracelets by Bambang made Hilda unable to contain her desire, so they ended up planting crops in a room. Knowing that, Bambang finally realized that the bracelet has very miraculous power. When at the office, the boss ordered all his team to work harder and be more innovative, because otherwise they could fail to get projects from investors. Then Bambang went to the toilet and looked in the mirror. That the effect of using the magic bracelet was to make the wrinkles on his face more visible. Long story short, before Putri went home, Bambang asked to go somewhere to have dinner together, but Putri refused because there were so many tasks given by the boss. Looks like the princess is a hard worker. She chooses her own materials in a market for designing her designs. And it can also be seen that Bambang is so dizzy thinking about the percentage draft that he must prepare when facing investors, but he always saw Putri's photo as his encouragement. Because the love that was burning in his heart was unbearable, Finally Bambang decided to meet Putri and reveal all his heart, maybe because the timing was not right, and the approach was not deep enough. Finally Putri refused Bambang slowly. Although I think it's sad and painful, but for Bambang he will still struggle to get sincere love from a princess. He wouldn't use a magic bracelet that could make any woman melt on him. I don't know what Bambang Ia thought of using the bracelet to take advantage of his company's competitor, Imbak Jula, who has a smooth and fantastic body. Without further ado, Imbak Jula immediately invited Bambang to perform a steady ritual in his room. After performing a steady ritual that made Ms. Jula fall asleep from exhaustion, it turned out that Bambang took the opportunity to steal the design from Imbak Jula. The next morning, Bambang immediately gave the stolen design from Imbak Jula to his boss. At first the boss really liked the design, but because the designer was Putri, Putri does not agree with the design. She prefers her own design, so that her trademark can be recognized by everyone. In the evening, as usual, Putri always checks every design she has made, so that the presentation to investors produces satisfactory results. The next day, a photo shoot was held in which the model was Hilda. After finishing the photo shoot, Bambang and Putri decided to go home. Due to the jealousy that Bambang had when he saw the daughter close to Heru, without thinking, Bambang immediately used the bracelet to meet Putri, and finally the two of them did a cropping scene in the room. Even though he could do anything with the princess, Bambang finally realized that by using the bracelet everything that Putri gave him was not sincere. Then he tried to change so that he could win Putri's heart without the help of the bracelet by changing all his attitudes, actions and improving more innovative and productive work. Starting from small things to paying special attention to Putri and also correcting all the shortcomings of each of her work until finally, when she was presenting with investors together with Putri. Bambang has prepared all the surprises, in the form of attention to all the details of Putri that he has been working on for each of his designs, and that makes Putri feel amazed at Bambang. Because then he realized that Bambang was so sincere to the princess until finally the two of them walked to the river bank and they look like lovers who are making out with strong belief and determination. After getting the sincerity of love from a princess, Bambang finally threw away the magic necklace he found and finished.